What do you make of Glass? This is going to have spoilers in it. I've got different thoughts about it. I watched Glass finally. Well, not finally, it just came out really. I was contemplating whether to do this or not. On this channel, I only wanted to talk about movies that I've had a positive experience of. Like, I don't want to do movies that I don't really like, because what's the point in spending your time ranting about a movie that you don't even like? It's not a negative experience. It's not a negative experience at all. A bit like, it just makes me think. Movies, they're very subjective. It depends on how you feel on the day sometimes when you watch a movie. A movie is not always just like thumbs up, thumbs down. Because I respect it. I just don't know how I feel about it. It had a hard challenge to live up to. We didn't watch Unbreakable, the first one. Because usually, like, you know, when you watch like all the Marvel films, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's watch all the ones coming up to this one so we know where we're at, and we get all the little winks and things like that. But we didn't do that on this one. We just watched Split, because we hadn't seen Split yet, but it was like, yeah, we gotta watch it before we watch this one. I fired up the Netflix, and it's a good job we did, because it kind of introduced us to the characters that was in Split. We'd usually both like be like, give it our ratings or whatever. We came out the cinema and was like, what did you think? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, the good thing, they had like little winks back to Unbreakable and Split too, and the feel of it as well. The characters, they stayed on point. It was very contained. It's a good continuation. One thing I did respect about it, that they didn't go overboard, but in a way you want them to go a little bit higher. If you've been doing it for 19 years, I know it's gradual, and everything's gradual in this because it's Unbreakable and it's slow and it's brooding and stuff. You feel like they would have been further along, or you feel like, oh, I wish they were further along. More developed powers. You want a bit of heightened action as well. Maybe it's because I've been watching too many things that are fast-paced. Marvel movies, just straight in there with lots of powers and lots of abilities. You're like, yeah, action. That you're not ready for slower build of movie. It's a slow burner for it being the third one in the series. And on one side, I wish they pushed it a little bit further. I respect all the decisions that they made. Okay, I see why you did that. Like, it all makes sense. There was nothing like, what the hell? You know those things, they try and push it too far and you're like, nah, get out of here. The methodology of it is intact, because if they had went too much faster, it wouldn't be a sequel, it'd be like another movie completely. And that's the thing I don't like about sequels sometimes. I think the tone of it is really good. We're still in the same world here. We haven't gone into a mad alternative universe where everything is just happening really quick. It's still that slow build. It was more like a psychological thriller in a way, you know, where it's all in like a hospital and there's spooky stuff going on. And it reminded me a bit of Shutter Island. I quite like Shutter Island. What I liked about it was their motives remained the same. Glass's motives. I think the pacing of it was always tense, because you was thinking, yeah, something's gonna happen now, and it just doesn't. You're like, what? In a way, it's an anticlimax, trying to go towards that big building at the end, and then you're like, nah, they're never gonna get to that big building. Like, I thought they were, and that's what I was waiting for. I was like, yeah, come on, you want him to get to the building, then there's no grand battle, which is like a disappointment in a way. How are they just fighting in hospital parking lot? Yeah, you just didn't know where they was going with it. Are you gonna go this way? Are you gonna go that way? It's like there's so many ways they could go. You want them to make it to the building, because then you have the epic showdown, but you just want to know. The uncertainty of it is what gets you, is because if you're like, all right, well, here for the whole movie in this psychodome, you adjust to that. I'm in. You're trapped with those characters in their predicament, because they don't know when they're going to be released or if there's hope. But as an audience member, you feel like, come on, let us out, let us into the real world, because we've been in this asylum long enough. And that's what made me worked up. I want to see the showdown, but it's like no showdown. You're still in that place. I feel like that's what they wanted to achieve. Why am I stuck in this place? Like them. You set a goal, we're all trying to break out with them, and it was just keeping me just like, where are they going with this? Is it just a coincidence? Is it just they wanted to believe it? Like, did something really happen in the first Unbreakable? Because you never know these things, what kind of twist they're going to put on it. Now, forgive me for this. You have those films that don't have like the budget to do things or go places. That's what it felt like. But it's a different way to go. And then you've got the conspiracy with the group that's just trying to shut both sides down. I kind of like that, because that makes sense, that there would be an organization like that. It was kind of a cool movie. I can't make a snap judgment on it. It's like one of those things, I have to let it simmer. I'll probably have to watch it 3 more times to like see how I feel. I didn't come out the cinema like, yeah, it's the greatest movie ever, like, or like, oh, that movie was sick. And then it didn't have me like, nah, I hate this movie. Oh, they ruined the whole thing. Like, I don't feel like that. It just came out like, It was just made me think about the little things in the movie. It's like pulling from two ends. You want the big action, you want the intricate story, you want the best of both worlds. It didn't give me enough of either. Like, I feel like it was just teasing me, saying, oh yeah, just a sprinkle there, a sprinkle there. And I talked to one of my other friends and he was like, nah, it's a thumbs down. I can't just judge it so just like, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's quite ambiguous for me. That's why I feel like I have to try and talk about it, because, and it's not like like a rom-com, passable, 5, 6 out of 10, yeah, it's alright, it'll pass, it'll do. But this film is different because it kind of grabs you in a way. Not many movies do that to me, where you're just like, I don't know, and you're still thinking about it afterwards. You're still like, what just happened there? I'm not sure how I feel about it. This day and age is like, oh, you gotta give your thumbs up, thumbs down. But it's like, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like two ways about it. Yeah, I feel like it's a decent movie. Some people are like raving thumbs down and some people are like raving thumbs up. I've been going a lot on Twitter as well, like, oh, this is a terrible movie, and then some people are like, oh, this is a great movie. So I feel like that's a decent movie. I feel in turmoil inside, like, I kind of like it, I'm kind of like thumbs up, and then sometimes I'm like, but I'm not like fully thumbs down. There's so many good things in there, not on the level of Unbreakable, but you're always comparing to original. But if you take it as its own movie, what did you think of the movie Glass? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you unsure? Let me know. Cool.